Well, this is day 4 of celebration, and we're currently in Ratchet Trust Arena. As you guys can see, it's snowing rain. Noah?
Yeah, it's snowing and raining. It's really scary and sandy. It's cold.
Exactly. Now, Nabil, you've not really seen a lot of snow before.
Not since I was 3, so I don't really count that. So.
Okay, so this is like weird for you right now.
It's not weird.
It's like
pretty exciting.
A religious experience?
I wouldn't say religious.
Okay.
I would say it's an experience. Yeah, and it's cool to see.
He's driving in my lane. This guy does not drive his truck.
Oh. Yep.
There's some animals out there.
It seems like
especially when it's snowing.
Every Uber we've been in.
Sorry, I lost my marker.
Like everyone,
Like his truck is like in my lane. Like you're from Virginia.
How do you feel about that?
Every Uber white now?
I feel like I've
So, you know, it's very exciting.
It's just hard.
I feel like I've lost a part of it because I'm not done with this
yeah,
poster yet.
has.
And I was very excited to have the silver to get this done. And I don't even have one. I have red though, so that's going to be a great theme to keep up with. It'll be like red all of a sudden. Like what? People are going to be like, how'd that happen?
That would suck. Yeah.
Oh, no. It's not that it would suck. It's that that's the reality.
No. Don't worry. We'll get silver in some
Yeah,
fashion.
no honks here. Where are you guys from?
Okay.
I'm from Houston. They're from Florida.
So yeah, no
Orlando,
honks.
Florida. Yep. So yeah, snow, super exciting.
Like, we have some
Thankfully, we'll be inside for most of the day anyway, so we don't really have to deal with the weather,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
just
great.
everyone's on their phones,
But
they're snoozing at the light,
yeah,
and
we're
if you know
really
the
excited.
place,
We
you
got
know
several
you
things to
have,
do. Of course, we got
some of them are very
Mandalorian,
cute.
we've got Clone Wars, we've got
You guys have, like,
Alan Tudyk's
cameras
panel as
Clone
well.
Wars.
Yeah, Clone
No,
Wars.
I'm so
Like,
excited.
I know it's gonna be
cameras.
really cool.
Red light cameras, I think.
It's gonna be really cool. Yes.
Yeah.
See, that's another
Hopefully, we
reason
get to
should
see
go
new
on,
content,
because
which I don't see why
you
we
get caught
wouldn't.
at the light as a person front of you doesn't move.
Fingers
then
crossed,
if
maybe
you're
we can get
getting-
an episode. Is that too much to ask? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's been years.
Yo,
We're
man.
at the Mandalorian panel.
Yeah, we are.
I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. I really want to see some good footage.
Yeah.
Maybe get like some exclusive. I heard there's exclusive footage that they're not going to be putting on the stream.
Oh, you heard it?
I didn't hear that. So maybe that's like an episode. That'd be pretty
Yeah.
crazy. But I bet it was going to be like an extended clip, like 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move you down here.
But yeah, very excited.
Agreed.
Right down
We've
here.
got
Just mixing it up.
The Bill
Right there.
and
All right,
Chris
here's how we're
and
gonna play the
Alexa.
game.
Everybody's
this game
here.
is called
You guys excited? You
categories,
pumped?
okay?
Oh yeah.
It's called
All right.
categories, and all you have to do
So we're just
is
kind of
name
waiting.
something in the category I choose. All
many
right?
seats available right
Now,
now.
here's where you come in. You know everything. You wasn't so. here's
Thank you
what
for
we're
the
gonna do.
food.
You guys
Noah
ready?
bought
Guys
us some
gonna go crazy,
food.
all right?
Got you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Here we go.
We're getting
Tell me when you're ready,
yes.
Kyle.
We're getting ready for the
All right.
Mandalorian still.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. I want you to go nuts.
We're gonna be
Are you
basically
ready for
here
the
the whole day.
Mandalorian?
Yeah, we're going to be here for the next like 5 hours.
5 hours. Yep. So we got Mandalorian.
And then Alan Tudyk and then
Yep.
Clone Wars.
It's gonna be a good day, man.
It's going to be good.
It's gonna be good. We got a minute.
It's almost go time.
Yep, and the camera's back.
The camera's back blocking our view. Yay.
Great.
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Allie, our friend Allie over there getting the shot.
Nice. Awesome. Making it happen.
Making it happen.
Kathleen Kennedy, Dave Filoni, and John Favreau.
Thank you guys. What a weekend this has been, don't you think? I mean, getting here on Friday and being able to show you the new teaser and surprises that I think we all agree. Even I can't wait to see the finished movie, and I know you guys even more so. So very excited about that. Saturday, oh my God, walking the floor and seeing all the things that have been created and what you guys do for this celebration is absolutely astounding. So a huge applause for all of you in this room, and outside this room, because I know there's a lot of other people watching. So I want to talk about the two people flanking me here. I've known since I stepped into this job when George Lucas asked me to take over Lucasfilm that Jon Favreau was a huge Star Wars fan. So when we found out that Disney Plus was going to let us make TV shows, we got so excited. And John sat down and pitched the idea of Mandalorian, and it was instantaneous. We were so excited that there was an opportunity to bring this to the screen. And I also have a feeling that everybody in this room knows that this guy is a rock star.
It's the homie.
Thanks,
the homie.
And I have to say, what could be more exciting than Dave Filoni directing live action? So the fact that John and Dave have come together and are working together on Mandalorian, I have to tell you, this has been the most fun, the most amazing experience, and I'm going to let the two of them start to give you a better idea of what this show is all about. And I think by the end of this discussion, you guys are going to be as excited as I am. So I'm going to step aside and let these guys take the stage.
Thank you, Dad. All right, so here we go. Dave and I met each other up at the ranch, which if we feel like you would if we were working at the ranch. I was mixing Iron Man.
Yeah, I was making Clone Wars Season 1.
So I brought him into the Kurosawa stage and showed him, he's the first person ever to see Iron Man.
Oh, wow.
And I was the first person
To see Clone Wars, you and your son, very first test audience.
That's what's fun about being up at
We
the ranch.
traded.
Yeah.
We traded.
And I said to him, this is awesome. If you ever need a voice, let me know.
I just happened to need a voice. That day, George had created a character named Free Vizsla. Would you like to be a Mandalorian?
Yes. And Mandalorians are my favorite characters.
Right? Obviously.
Right? I mean, if you're going to play anything, you want to...
Right.
You know, yeah.
Just for the helmet.
So that's how we... Yes. We got Mandalorian merch over there, right? There we go. So we started working together on that. We became friends, and we known each other. That was
for years. Yeah.
07, something
Yeah,
like
that was
that.
a long time.
Long years, something like
Yeah.
that. And then I came in. I had been working on this idea for a long time because it was really compelling to me what happened after the celebration of the Empire falling, the revolution successful, and then what happened?
Now what?
Because if you look throughout history, it's fun at first, but it gets very complicated very quickly. And so the idea of that world of after Return of the Jedi and what would happen and the type of characters that would survive and what it was like until the New Republic took over. And so you have vestiges of the Empire, you have only the strong surviving, you have chaos taking over in the galaxy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Good chaos.
Yeah.
I'm just watching them. I'm watching them like you're every word, and they're just like, I'm enjoying this very much myself personally.
And then, of course, the idea of going back to there's all sorts of different tones in Star Wars, but I always loved I was the right age, so when I saw the beginning of the first Star Wars film, and the cantina, and the characters, and the smugglers, and the underworld,
Scum and villainy.
the scum and villainy, that was, to me, that was a very rich environment to tell a story in a rich tone.
Yeah, I mean, and it is, and it's fun. And you know, I've been next year's 15 years working on Star Wars, and I've never seen it run as this area is so unique that we're playing in it, and with these type of characters. I'm trying to be very careful not to give anything away, but it is really fun. And just to say Mandalorian, when you came with a Mandalorian idea, I thought, well, that's ironic because you are a Mandalorian, and I thought, so of course you're fulfilling that need. To have Mandalorian, just the armor, designing the helmet when we sat down to do that, just tweaking a little bit.
Just looking at
so many little fun things to do.
And getting back to the roots of what inspired George originally, like the old westerns and the samurai films, and getting back to that imagery on a scale that felt like when it began, that it was planets that were separated and each world was different, and it felt like that period of time in history that is so fertile for the samurai films, back when, around the time of Seven Samurai, where the age of the warrior was just starting to end, or post-Civil War in the Old West, when everything had to be, order had to be brought to the universe.
Yeah.
So, and then Mandos were always fun, and you had done so much work with Mandalorians.
I know a few.
And so we had talked a lot about that.
It's good. We had a lot of discussions about it in different areas, holiday specials, that kind of thing.
Yes, the holiday special was the first.
All of that came up.
And the rifle. Can you hold up the rifle, please? Yeah, so there we go.
Pretty good.
The holiday special rifle. So, and we wanted to bring in elements from, Star Wars has so many different groups of people that like so many different aspects of it, but the idea of creating something that would bring them all together.
Yeah.
And to everything from the original trilogy that I was bringing out. We have some people who made a trip here in the snow just to be here for you, starting with Pedro Pascal. Let's also bring out Gina Carano.
Very exciting.
And we'd like to introduce a new actor to all of you. You may not know him yet, but you definitely will. Carl Weathers. Well, let's find out a little bit about who they play.
Yes.
You like to start the...
How should we start?
I don't know, maybe introduce...
Pedro, you are the Mandalorian.
Done? Can you hear me?
The Mandalorian.
Well, just look at the image. That's what it's like! fantasy fulfillment. That's what it's like.
Anything more? Is that all?
It's hard without spoiling everything.
I know, I don't know what I can say and what I can't say. What?
Spoil it!
They'll try to deceive you and tell you everything.
Right, exactly.
You must not give in to this.
That's why I just want to point at pictures and be like, there.
We could say he's a bounty hunter and a gunfighter.
Yes. He said, what's it like being the Mandalorian,
what's it
not
like?
what is the Mandalorian.
Oh, okay.
Why has meant you personally to keep you out of trouble?
The Mandalorian is a mysterious, lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy. I would say his, some might say he has questionable moral character.
Interesting.
Which is in line with some of our best westerns and
Very good. Yeah,
some good samurai.
you're great.
You know, all the best, all the good stuff.
All the good stuff.
And he's a badass.
I don't know. I won't be in trouble if you say the wrong thing for once. So I'm really enjoying this.
I think that these incredibly talented men who also love Star Wars very much have created an incredible, iconic character that I get to play!
Now we have Gina Carano, who plays a character, Cara Dune. Tell us a little bit about the character that you play, Gina.
Okay, so nice to see everyone here. I had no idea it was going to be this big, so. When I got this job, I instantly was like, oh my gosh, I gotta be a part of a whole another family. Like, I feel like certain Italians have embraced me, MMA community embraced me. I'm kind of an actress now, so now I'm a part of this family, and this is absolutely kick-ass, so I'm so happy. So my character's name is Cara Dune, and she's an ex-rebel shock trooper. I know. What you were reading online, I was watching all of you. I was like, do they know who I am? No, they don't. And basically, since it's such a secret thing, I've never been a part of something so secret. I can't tell you that much, but I'm a bit of a loner, which isn't a far stretch. And I'm learning how to have a bit of trouble reintegrating myself into society. So I was blessed to work with such amazing people and have such amazing direction. And I don't think I've done a better job than I did on this show. So.
And playing the character of Grief Karga is Mr. Carl Weathers. Carl?
Yeah. Wow. Well, first, I'm really happy to be here. It's like amazingly exciting day of all the things I've been involved in. Oh, I love you too. Okay. Of all the things I've been involved with, I don't think anything has come close to this. This is insane. Okay. This group of fans is just like something out of Star Wars, actually. It's that crazy. But anyway, the character is Grief Karga, and he is a guy who is running this group of bounty hunters. He's kind of the head of this guild of bounty hunters, and okay. And you know, he's a guy who, there seems to be a lot of kind of nefarious people, even if they're good people, they're kind of nefarious sides to them, right? So he's looking for someone to go after a product that he wants to bring to a client that's worth a lot and that's very valuable. And guess who he finds? He finds a a bounty hunter named Mandalorian. And the Mando is a guy that he figures can get the job done, so he hires this guy, sends him out there, and the Mando does what needs to be done.
Some of you may have heard that we had put together a little piece of and we wanted to make sure that all of you got to see what we're up to. So live streamers, there's going to be a little bit of a blackout coming up, but we'll be back with you in a few minutes. So let's discuss Mandalorian history while working on the Clone Wars together. Yeah,
Yes,
did a lot.
quite a bit. In fact, there was some Mandalorian history created, quite a bit on Clone Wars, but around your character, we used to have pre-visual fighting with a vibroblade weapon in Clone Wars, and when George saw it, he said no. A lightsaber would cut that thing right in half. And I said, well, that's a problem, because we've already staged the whole thing. And he's like, well, we'll have to figure something out. And then he called me later that day, because he'd been dwelling on it so much, and said, I've created something, it's called the Dark Saber, and we're going to give it. And so you got this.
I got to wield the
cool
Dark
weapon
Saber in
this
the
really
Clone
long
Wars.
speech.
And I had to do a whole speech about how I found it in a Jedi temple and all this stuff. It was super cool. So we had talked a lot about the Jedi history, Jedi and Mandalorian history, and also where are the Mandalorians during the original trilogy and even in the prequels. So we had a lot of conversations, and so now we're coloring in the missing tiles there.
Yeah.
So we talked about that a lot, and it's fun. They're a fun group. Next question. John.
This guy, he really got me interested in it. And so when he came by, that was a real thrill for me personally.
He was extremely proud when I was talking to George without Dave there, because they had been working together for so long, and Dave was just starting out in that position and had really grown as a storyteller and writer, and really had absorbed all those lessons. And then to even have George, who really, I started my curiosity about Joseph Campbell and the writers, the hero's journey, and the monomyth through watching his films and the Power of Myth with Joseph Campbell shot at the Skywalker Ranch when I was young. It would really influence me tremendously. And to be able to talk with George about these things, and he's really an expert in such matters. And so it was great to hear it right from him. And so it just felt really good and fun, and like it was about the human connection too. And learning not just about what makes a show good, but life lessons. And it's been really nice also being able to work with, as I've been learning from him, for me to try to teach him what I've learned in live action, and us coming together has been a really wonderful partnership. And Kathy was really smart and thoughtful to get us together, because I don't think the show would have been nearly what it is without our collaboration. So thank you.
I think you guys didn't know a lot of that, did you? This is all behind the scenes as well for you.
Just taking it all in.
Taking it all in. Can you believe it?
No, barely. So in terms of inspiration, I was like, John, what do you want me to read? What do you want to watch? What do you want?
It's really, yeah. It's been great. You all have, are there any other, in what way is The Mandalorian going to be different from anything we've seen so far in Star Wars? Dave, you want to?
That's a tricky one where I could go wrong. Give you too much information, and it's going to be different in that it's starring a Mandalorian. We've never seen that the first live action. Thank you.
That's right. First live action.
Your notes.
Not the first television, as we mentioned. There was a Caravan of
Yeah.
And holiday special
On Disney Plus, so we got that going for us.
We were going to do that.
Take over.
You do it. Thank you.
How is it different from what we've seen in Star Wars? It's the very first live-action Star Wars series to ever exist. It's no cartoon. It's no holidays.
Careful there.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Interesting. Boba Fett starters are cartoon characters. Now listen, you all got those tickets, right? You still have them? Can you put up on the screen what the giveaway that they're going to get when they go to the place? There we go. It's a new poster. We've been live streaming this, and let's take this opportunity to say goodbye to everybody who's been joining us live stream. Thank you so much, everybody. Look out for the Mandalorian coming to Disney Plus. Disney Plus, November 12th. November 12th. Thank you, everybody watching at home.
Wow, they're not going to get the trailer at home.
Thank you. Okay, we're off. Hey, everybody, we're offline. Hang on, don't leave. Come back.
What did you think, man?
I think I just saw the two guys who inspired like the last 10 years of my life producing something they've wanted to make all their lives, and it looks unbelievable in every sense of the word. And I just cannot wait for November.
They showed us a lot.
They showed us so much footage.
We saw a clip. We saw a scene, really. It was a scene.
A whole scene. We saw
two trailers. Yeah, a couple scenes, two trailers.
Only the public is going to get that short, like behind the scenes thing. No? Nothing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man, we're going to cherish this in the next few months.
I know, right? I have a feeling there's a lot of jealous people right now on the internet.
I thought it was all going to be streamed. I mean, Orlando, everything that we got went up right online.
Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy. Noah.
Bro!
Yes.
Nah, dude, it was so dope. I'm a big fan of Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And I was really excited to see who he was playing, and he looks badass.
Was he the Imperial?
He was the Imperial.
Okay, that's what
and he's like, he sends the troopers to go in and burn down the city. He's in a TIE fighter. Oh, and he has Death Troopers.
Yeah.
He has Death Troopers with him. And I'm like, oh my God, it just looked great. Definitely get the Western vibe with it, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, super excited. Pedro Pascal, I love Pedro Pascal. Carl Weathers is like a fucking legend. Like, I can't believe he's in it.
Yeah.
And nah, man, I really enjoyed it. I really hope the public gets to see something pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because I'm surprised that they're not letting them see anything. I don't know why they're not doing that, but I really hope that it comes out soon. But because it's amazing. Oh, IG-88 kicking ass.
Oh my gosh,
I love the way he
yes.
goes. I love the way he can, like, his different parts of his body can turn. So his head can turn this way, but his body's over here.
Yeah.
It's so dope. Yeah, it looked great.
Chris, what'd you think, man?
It was incredible.
Yeah?
I can't wait for this show.
I know, dude. It looks great.
Yeah.
Nabil,
What?
what'd you think?
It's amazing. Footage that we had to see was sick.
Yeah.
I can't freaking wait. They can take my money right now if they want.
Yep.
Only $6.99 for Disney Plus. That's crazy.
We're pretty mind blown right now.
Yeah,
Like,
stupid mind blown. Yeah, absolutely.
This that little bit that they showed us that maybe you guys saw or maybe you didn't see is was beyond enjoyable. There's so much practical effects, great actors, a lot of familiar faces. If you're a fan of Troopers, there's plenty of them.
oh my gosh.
So many awesome Stormtrooper moments.
Death Troopers?
Death Troopers.
Death Troopers.
Yeah.
We got what looked to be not quite, but almost like the shock troopers from Battlefront 2.
Right?
Yeah,
The incinerator troopers.
So it takes place 5 years after Jedi.
Yeah.
And they kept talking about the Caravan of Courage, so maybe we might see a couple of
Maybe.
Ewoks. I don't
we
know,
saw some
you know?
familiar aliens finally. We saw Jabba's,
Oh, yeah.
Twi'leks. We saw the Devarians, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It's just going to be filled with
Saw
bounty
Salacious
hunters.
Crumb's family members.
bro.
Oh, dude, that was so
That
sad.
was
Are we
that was
allowed to talk
dude.
about
That was
I
the-
thought about
Are we
bro.
allowed to talk about that?
That was an exclusive.
nah,
right
we're
there.
good.
But yeah, that was probably the saddest part of the trailer.
That was the most funniest part of the trailer. I'm like, I looked at someone, I'm like, oh man, are you
Yeah.
alright? I'm gonna get through this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so cool. That, I mean, it's
We
gonna
must
be
have
worth
seen in total like probably 7 minutes of footage. Like,
Yeah,
total.
yeah.
between
they
behind
showed
the
us.
scenes, the clip,
and then the trailer,
that little
like-
trailer. Dude.
yeah.
We saw Giancarlo Esposito's character in the trailer.
Yeah.
God, I forgot that old man that he shakes his hand. He's like
Yeah, from
super-
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
That dude, I forgot.
Carl
his name, too.
Weathers, guys.
Yeah,
Carl Weathers.
Apollo
In the
Creed.
Listen,
flesh.
Apollo Creed, and then he starts off by saying, "You, I want
Apollo
you,
Dude,
Yeah.
Dylan from Predator.
Dude, I know.
Yes.
I know.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah.
I kept on thinking about Creed every single time he was up there.
Yeah. All
like,
Creed.
damn.
Yeah.
The dude hasn't really aged.
No,
Looks the
he looks
same.
awesome.
Yeah.
I definitely disagree. He looks a little rough around his eyes, honestly. But that doesn't matter. Point is, he still kick butt.
Pedro
And
Pascal was so excited.
Pedro's the man. Yeah.
He was scared though. I feel like, and there was a moment where they were probably gonna spoil the dude's name. And they didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, Carl was almost the one that.
Because he
almost
said the Mando.
He's like the Mandalorian.
I just like how Pedro. You could tell he's a big fan.
Yeah.
And he's really excited. He was so excited that he was having trouble talking.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, shoot, I would too.
I would
You don't want
too,
to
yeah.
spoil anything and get out of a job.
But seeing John and Dave collaborating together was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Like
Now
that's a big
I have
moment.
this shirt.
Yes.
I'm like super stoked about it.
Yeah.
Look at you rocking that Phantom Menace shirt,
Yeah,
too.
dude.
You gotta rock that on Monday.
20 years, man.
Yep.
20 years. That was a fast 20 years.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys want to go get those posters?
Yeah, let's go get the posters.
Let's go get them. Let's go do it. There's a blizzard. Look at this. Look at this craziness. Dang.
This is insane.
I know, man.
I've never seen this in my life, and it's cool. But geez, I would not want to be in that.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in a freaking rainstorm or something like that.
Right. Wow, so now we're just kind of waiting on a couple panels. We got Clone Wars in a few hours.
Yeah, we're really excited.
Oh my goodness. I'm
Freaking
so
Mandalorian.
pumped. Mandalorian was insane. Wow.
I was
There's the
already
arena
a
right
fan.
there.
I was already a fan of Mandalorians, mainly due to Clone Wars.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
freaking crap, Clone Wars and Rebels. But now with this, it's like
This is what the exclusives look like to redeem it. So we gotta redeem all these.
yeah. Unfortunately, they ran out, so now we gotta wait like later on.
Yep.
To go to a different spot now to get them.
Right.
Bunch of greedy people.
Look at this.
Look at these fools, man. They're all like struggling to walk.
That's crazy. Wow. Chicago weather, man. I had a feeling at some point we would be encountering
real.
this. Alrighty, let's rejoice in this. Lord Davis, poor dude.
That poor man and his family.
Look at
They're not
him.
even covered like it's all.
Look at this. That's messed up, man. Dang. Wow.
Oh, now.
Hey, coming down the aisle. How's it going? Hey, how you doing? Over here. How you doing? Nice to see you. Whoa, just missed that. How you doing? Good to see you. That's great. Thank you very much. Coming from all sides. How you doing? Nice to see you. You're still sitting there. Wow. How's it going? Hey. Nice bag, lady. Excellent. Here we go. Coming on through. Mind your toes. We're getting there. It's an epic journey. Mind your helmet. Okay. Here we go. Up onto the stage. Hello. Welcome, everyone. How you doing? How's your Star Wars celebration been so far? Fantastic. Isn't this wonderful? I mean, Chicago has turned into Hoth today, but it's very appropriate, isn't it? Fabulous. Welcome to this show. It's going to be a wonderful show in conversation with the one and only Mr. Alan Tudyk. Welcome, Alan.
Well, thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
How do you feel about that lovely reaction?
Well, it's nice. It feels very good. It's a little intimidating. It's very generous. Thank you.
So how are you finding celebration?
It's celebration, man. It's a great convention. It's a great con, as we say. I mean, look at this. You got a desk. This is a real show.
It's a real show.
Absolutely. This is leather.
I'm not sure about that. I think it's made of tauntaun.
Oh, yeah. You're right. It's very warm. It's a very warm little chair.
Now, Alan, I understand you had a life-changing experience at one of the previous celebration events.
Yes.
Yeah, what was that? Tell us about it.
I did?
Yeah, you did. Why weren't you?
I was searching for a story here.
Yeah, I know. I really want to
What
give
about
it to you.
Anaheim? Does that ring any bells?
I remember it was in Anaheim. My life changes so often, Warwick. It's really...
Do you remember, somebody came up to you and they said to you, would you like to play a certain...
Oh, yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah. Yes.
It's Sunday, by the way.
Yeah, it is. 3 words. Yes. Well, that was Star Wars Celebration. It didn't feel like one because I didn't get to celebrate with everyone. I wasn't allowed into where everyone is. I didn't get to see any of the attractions or anything like that. I was there to meet Gareth Edwards, who's the director of Rogue One, and I went to a conference room, and it was just he and I, like in this conference room, and just down at the end, and all these empty chairs, and he showed me all of the pictures of what was going to be in Rogue One, new stormtroopers, what K2 was going to look like, all of this stuff. And I was like, you're either going to have to kill me because you've given away all the secrets of what this movie's about, or include me in this movie. And after that, after going through all, he's like, so you want to do it? It was like the most just casual. You want to do it? Like you want to go grab dinner later?
And did you say yes straight away?
I didn't.
Oh.
I was doing a show that about conventions called Con Man for fans. Thank you very much. And fans had given me a lot of money to make this show, and they had just given it to me, and $3.2 million. You know. And I had already, production was rolling, I was casting, and I was like, as long as it doesn't go in June, I'm there. Because he kind of looked at me weird and said, I think we're going July. And I said, great. And I think this is going to work.
You know, we're all so glad it worked out. We really are. We really are.
And just seeing the movie was fantastic. You know, you work on it for so long. We did do some reshoots, and you hope it's everything that you know, all the love you're putting into it, you hope it comes together, because there are so many moving pieces, and it's you were there.
Well, it's interesting, when you're making a movie, you hope that people love it, but what you're doing at the time is the best thing, isn't it? But you don't know how it's going to go when it goes out.
Absolutely. I have done movies that have come out and it doesn't get the reception that I feel it should have.
Absolutely.
This was not one of those.
No.
And that's the best. And K2, people like K2, which was great. It didn't hit me till about halfway through the movie that I was like, oh wait, I'm a Star Wars droid.
Yeah.
This isn't any like, this isn't just, it's not very bright. And, you know, it's Moana, it's about islanders, and I'm not an islander. There's no role in that movie for me. And they're like, we gotta give Alan something. Give him the chicken. So I watched the movie, which was pretty much done at this point, and for about 3 hours just would watch scenes and he's on a boat and then fall off.
Now, Alan, obviously you play dodgeball. Do you like games? I've got a game.
Okay.
Yeah? Let's play Dodge the Death Star.
Well, now, if you
lightning reflexes.
Thank you. Well, if you catch it, then you're out. So
you
I have
said
your
dodge.
job now, and no. So yeah, here you go, guys. Right, we can give this away, right?
Yeah, I think we have spare ones.
This is a very expensive thing, obviously.
It is.
I'm not a big fan of the Death Star.
Yeah, there it goes. They'll just devour that now.
No, we don't.
Devour it.
It's full of, yes. His breath.
So let's talk about K2 again, shall we?
K2, yes.
Yeah, should we do that?
That guy.
Do you mind me kind of, I don't know whether I should, it's polite to kind of shorten his name. You know, like you say R2 or 3PO. Can you say K2, or could you have to say K2SO every time?
No, it's K2.
Okay, it's K2.
Diego is K2.
Somebody said K down here. That's ridiculous.
K.
It's just lazy.
No, Diego said that too.
Oh, did he?
K. I can do a fairly good Diego Luna impression. as good looking as him or in many things. I'm not as good of a cook, but I can do his voice. And that's like the one thing I have that he has.
You're teasing us now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wore this in addition to wearing stilts, which was, and the robotic hands, and the pajamas to make K2 on set. When we were on a cliffside, or when I had to run through sand, or something a little trickier, I wore this dumb backpack with a telescoping head and a piece of poster board that was cut out. It was like kids' science fair projects have better production value than this thing. And Diego hated it. From the first time, it was actually the first day I had to wear it in Jordan. It was our first shot when we were looking down on Jeddah. And he comes up to me and goes, Alan, you are ruining this movie. For a minute we thought we were all on a very important big budget movie, but now the crew's upset. Please take that stupid thing off. It was the backpack of shame. And that's my impression. First look at the new show. It's not going to be on probably till 2021, but here is a sneak peek that you guys have seen.
Yes. This is a fertile land. Yes. And we will thrive. We will rule over this land, and we will call it this land. I think we should call it your grave. Oh, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Mine is an evil laugh. Now die! No. Motherless son of a... We got incoming! Alliance cruiser bearing right down on us.
We just saw the Alan Tudyk panel.
We did. It was hilarious. It was entertaining.
Yeah,
I love that, man, so much.
But what are we waiting for now?
We are waiting for the sneak peek of the Clone Wars.
Whoa. Yes, finally.
Crappiest panel of them all, right, Corey?
No! Whoa. We're so close. Ross!
Yes. Hi.
It's almost time.
Yeah, dude. 1 hour.
They have it on the screens.
Oh, look at that. Oh, man.
Here we go. Dude, I know. Never. Never.
Oh my God.
Soon. It's getting real now. Look at that. The prepping.
Let me get over here.
Prepping.
All right, here we go in the corner.
Packed room for Clone Wars because it's coming back. Everybody's excited about it.
You got something really cool.
It's ridiculously packed.
Have here, Rosie.
I have been revenge.
Still not episode 9 level, but it's close enough.
Exactly right.
That goes to show you, Disney.
Now, Rosie,
there's Clone Wars love, baby.
You have Black Series Obi-Wan Kenobi. What's special about it for you?
Well, it's because it's one of the
Is this being recorded?
Obi-Wan.
Clone Wars, baby. Woo!
It's the collector's
Sometimes
one.
it's that simple, Mark. Sometimes it's that simple. Thank you very much, Rosie. Congratulations. High five, Rosie. High five. Nice.
Steele.
Corey.
What's up, man?
Clone Wars is up, man.
I'm so excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited for you.
I know. You're living through me right now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm just here to watch you.
Okay. That works. It's like a trailer reaction for an hour.
Yeah, and I'm going to give my Corey reaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. Ross. Bless you. We're about 10 minutes away.
I am not ready. No, I can't believe this is already happening. I can't believe we even got into this room.
You would know that's true if you went to Celebration.
Unreal.
I know.
Look at that shirt. 15 minutes.
You got something?
Yeah.
You should tell them
Well, it's
the
15
story.
minutes. That's too long.
Tell them the story. All right, I will tell them the story. Let's see.
Getting close to the film.
Yeah, we are a minute and a half away.
What's up, man?
What's up?
You ready for Clone Wars? Yeah?
All right, friends, we are getting closer and closer to showtime. Who is ready for a sneak peek at Star Wars: The Clone Wars?
Oh boy! Starting straight off with the trailer.
I have to admit that without the clones, it would not have been a victory.
Victory! Victory, you say? Master Obi-Wan, not victory. The shroud of the dark side has fallen. Begun. The Clone War has.
I'm Ahsoka?
Obi-Wan. Have you trained more?
That's the same trailer in the panel? No.
A new power is rising. I've foreseen it. You should have quit while you were still alive, Dooku. You cannot deny your feelings, Anakin. They are what make you special.
Here we go.
Is it true that he is the chosen one? To teach an apprentice, to let go of his pupil, a greater challenge it will be.
Welcome your host for Sneak Peek at Clone Wars, Mr. Warwick Davis!
Thank you very much. Thank you indeed. Welcome everyone. How's it going? Are we all having a great celebration or what? Yes, we are indeed. And welcome to everyone who's watching the streaming from all the corners of the galaxy as well. Welcome to you to this very special Clone Wars panel. Who's excited for this? Yes, can't wait to find out more. But before we bring on the team from Clone Wars, I just want to say hello to some folks in our best seats over here, because there's some wonderful costumes that I'm seeing here. Hello, how are you guys doing? May I ask who you are today? Yeah. No, who you really are. It's Tony, yeah? And you're dressed as Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars. I am. Can you do the accent? Hello there. That's what Fabulous, and hello to you. What's your name?
My name's Ashley.
Ashley, and where are you from?
I'm from Orlando.
No, Ashley, I recognise this lady. She was dressed as another character only yesterday.
Yes, Harrison Dula.
Ah, very good. And I believe you're responsible for the wonderful artwork we see moving around here, yes?
Obi-Wan and myself.
Oh, and Obi-Wan, I didn't recognise you. And it's you. You're all different today. Fabulous. Hello, how are you?
Adrian. No, I'm good.
You're good, yeah. You're very Adrian today, yes, indeed. And are you a fan of Clone Wars?
Oh, yes, I am.
So what are you most excited about today?
The new season.
Of course.
Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka. Ashley's going to be out here in a minute.
Yeah.
Look at his face. You're going to be within a few feet of Ashley X-Knight. How do you feel now?
I'm shaking.
You're shaking? Yeah. We should have security standing by here, actually, in case he makes a dash. Okay. And let me just say hello to you.
Hello, sir.
Oh, very well. Who's your friend here?
Yeah, this is our dog, Simon.
Hello, Simon. That's a very strange name for a dog, isn't it, Simon? Hello, Simon.
You consider him my son.
Hello, Simon. Hello. You're little Ewok, yes? Yes, you are. Yes. Oh, that's cute. And is Simon a fan of Clone Wars?
Yes, he is.
Yeah?
We showed him most of the seasons already. We've been streaming.
Clone Captain Rex! And countless others, and resurrected one of Star Wars' most popular villains, Darth Maul. Ladies and gentlemen, here to tell us more about this exciting new Clone Wars season, please welcome Dave Filoni, D. Bradley Baker, Ashley Eckstein, and Sam Welcome, team. How are you doing? Good.
Yeah.
Isn't this exciting? Look, look how they're on their feet, getting photographs of you all.
There seems to be some excitement in the house today.
Indeed, and Ashley, your biggest fan is right over here, is Adrian there, look at him. He can't believe how close he is to you right now.
Wait, which one in the front row?
Adrian, there he is waving, look, there he is. He can't believe it.
Somewhere in time.
Yeah, just chat amongst yourselves a minute. There we go, having a selfie. Made his entire life. How's that, Adrian? You owe me one, buddy. All right.
He's weeping. Oh.
So, welcome to all of you. It's really great to have you here. Dave, I've interviewed you on many occasions over the years, and it's great to have you back again.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Where the rest of them are? I can't really tell, but I think everyone's thrilled that Clone Wars is coming back. So you've got a limited run of a few episodes in this season.
This is my own personal collection.
Now, many of us never thought this was going to happen. Can you tell us how it happened?
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to happen, to be honest. It's a very challenging show to make. And in a lot of ways, I think most of us at Lucas Animation, we'd moved on. We were making Star Wars Rebels and finishing that. Really, I have to say, it was the persistence and the perception of Carrie Beck at Lucasfilm Animation and Agnes Chu at Disney Plus that got together and said, you know, we should finish this, we should make more. And they came to me and said, would you like to do it? And I said, yeah, but I don't know if I can do it again. I mean, it's that challenging. And it's a very personal show to me with the people that I've worked with on to make it, working with George. So I had to do an assessment and make sure that if we did it, that we could do it the right way and that we can have the scale, the scope, and the stories that I know everybody wants. And I think in the end, obviously the answer was yes, we could, and we sat down and here we go.
You mentioned that it was a very challenging show to make. What makes it challenging for you?
The scale of it's huge.
Is it?
You know, on Star Wars Rebels, we were dealing with just a smaller group of people fighting against the Empire, and we could grow that over time. But you never had hundreds of soldiers in the battlefield fighting at one time, really. Just technically, to do some things in Clone Wars, you'll have hundreds of clones fighting thousands of battle droids. And to execute that, you need a certain, technical ability. You need the right kind of staff. You need the right programs. You have to everything in place. It's not like you just turn it back on as a machine. But luckily, I have enough people that carried over from the original in enough key places that we were able to figure it out with the animation studios. And I think in the end, and as it should be, we're going to do it better this time around than we did before.
Wow. So Dee, Ashley, and Sam, what was it like for you when you first found out? And what was your initial reaction?
It freaked me out. I didn't think I'd be doing clones ever again. I thought that was the end of it. And really, if someone said, is there one thing you would like to do, you know, in a voiceover career out here in Los Angeles that you haven't done, I would have said, I would like to go back and finish the Clone Wars, is what I'd like to do. It's beyond thrilling to dive back in and to have Dave and the team finish it off the way that he wants, and especially for the fans to be able to experience the cinematic finish that this deserves.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ashley, how did you find out? Did Dave call you up one day and say, hey, do you fancy coming back into the studio?
Oh, you got a record of this, don't you?
Yes, I do. So I found out in an interesting way, and I haven't quite told the truth of how I first found out, because obviously we live our life always in secrecy. I feel like we've signed our lives away in NDAs, and we're always keeping secrets and trying to be a part of Dave's trust tree. And
there's an implied non-disclosure agreement, the NDA, whenever you work on something, and it's particularly strong with something that's Lucas-oriented.
yes, but as a cast, we're very close. We are like a family, and we are ironclad. So we tell each other things because we know we can. So I'm actually at Disney World in line on a ride, and I get a text from D. Bradley Baker. And I will read it. Here's our text chain.
Well, actually, it's from Captain Rex. I said, you won't believe what Dave just told me. Shh.
And I said, what? With 4 question marks.
Don't dare even tell anyone I even said anything. Please don't.
And I said, I would never. Is he with you? This feels like a trap.
He is. We're wine tasting with the rebels.
And I said, I thought so. Laugh out loud. Tell him I'm not that easily fooled.
Has he spoken to you?
And I said, no, why?
Afraid to even text.
You're right, Dave.
And so I said, well, I wouldn't. I hope it's what I think it is.
Tell no one. Jedi promise.
And I said, I promise, but I know Dave is watching.
CW finale, 12 eps, soon.
So that was our text chain. That's how I found out.
Rex had to tell Ahsoka. There's just no way.
Exactly. I mean, if we're not in Dave's trust tree, then Ahsoka and Rex, we have our own trust tree.
So, moving on. Sam, what's it been like for you going back to the Clone Wars again?
Well, do you remember when we were doing Malachor? And I'm calling you Lady Maul is calling Ahsoka Lady Tano, and there's all this implied history. So me and Ashley go to Dave and we go, so what happened in the siege of Mandalore? Can we please know? Because we're referring to it now. And Dave goes, yeah, you guys would have known, but you don't know. And every time that I try to get him to tell me anything about the siege of Mandalore, he'd be like, no, I'm not telling you. And I always thought that was weird that he wouldn't tell me the way we were supposed to end the Clone Wars. So one day, I was having a nice lunch with Dave and his lovely wife Anne, who the Convor is named after. And no one broke any trust trees. It's just that Anne said one thing. And Anne's out there somewhere. Anne said, Dave, can I tell him? And immediately I'm like, you know, it was like the usual suspects. I'm like, wait a second, hold on. And visions of this siege of Mandalore, sorry, a little confused. So I guessed, but I didn't know. And then Dave finally told me, and then I knew for just under, I think it was under a year, or at least it felt like a year. It was terrible. That was the worst secret I've ever kept in my entire career. It hurt to keep that inside.
We clearly see who Dave's
So you
favorite
wonder
is.
why only 12 episodes.
Yeah.
We're only doing 12 episodes. Because it's all they can handle. It's all we can together successfully pull back is 12.
Yeah.
And the trust tree is in a completely separate park and garden than where you guys are. You guys are like the shrubbery that leads you to the tree, and then there's a nice garden gate and an area around the tree. There are even people there that are not in the tree, called production staff, that want to know what's going on. I only tell them what they need to know, and then there's the actual tree, which I will saw limbs off what I need to.
I feel like after today you're going to be instituting a moat around the tree.
Yeah. That's such a good idea, Rex.
He's revving up his chainsaw as we speak.
I approve of that design. Let's let you and the clones get to work. But this is why you don't know the end of the show, which is really all I've got at this point.
So actors, for you, has it been challenging sort of inhabiting your characters again at this stage in the story? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I worked so closely with Dave going from Clone Wars Ahsoka to Rebels Ahsoka. And it took us a while. I mean, I feel like it took me a while to get Rebels Ahsoka and get her voice. And I finally, I feel like, got in that zone. And then he's like, yeah, now you gotta go back to Clone Wars Ahsoka. And it took me a while to go back to Clone Wars Ahsoka. But, I mean, I know I said this at Comic-Con, but I'm gonna embarrass him once again. I can't stress how crucial having Dave as the director is for us.
Yeah.
Because he's the most amazing director.
She's planting seeds for a new trust tree.
That is true. No, but no, I'm a very visual person, so I actually very heavily rely on Dave and his direction. And I do trust him. I mean, we're talking about trust, but we have a thing since 2006, since we've been working together. And he gives such amazing direction, and he knows when he has something. And it just, even last week, I was like, do you have it? And he's like, what, you don't trust me? And I was like, no, I do. Okay, move on. So I'm just so grateful, because I feel like we, finally got back to Clone Wars Ahsoka, but it took a while.
Absolutely. So Dave, what can we expect in the new episodes? Can you give us anything?
Yeah, I can't remember. They've been talking. I don't remember what part of the program we're at now. We're gonna get into the clones, of course, because it's called Clone Wars, so that's not really that shocking. No. But I think you can see now a couple different things, technical and story-wise. We revamped the look of the show a tiny bit. The big question was, how do we make Clone Wars? How do we make it better now that we have better technology to animate with? And so we actually redid some of the facial features, just tweaked them a little bit, so the animation will be better on the faces, so that the emotions ring a little truer. So you can see there before and after in Captain Rex. You probably can't even tell much of the difference. There are just subtle differences in the brow and the nose, and just little things that allow the face to react better. And some of the detail in the costumes we also improved. And we're going to watch a story that is primarily about clones, and it's one that actually diehard fans of the show know, called Bad Batch. And they're a group of clones.
Oh, look at that.
That are really genetically engineered specialists. It was an idea George had. What if there was like a group of clones that had bizarre traits, and instead of getting rid of them, the Kaminoans, enhance those traits based on something that Commander Cody wanted them to do to experiment with making super soldiers. It comes out of the Clone 99 arc that we did, the Kaminoan arc, so it's an extension of that. And it's something we had planned to do. And these episodes, actually, what's interesting about them is that they were all shot, meaning pre-viz and pre-animation, prior to us stopping making Clone Wars before. So these story reels existed. So I went back into them and just retooled them a tiny bit, because you'll see some of the story process and some of the evolution that we go through to make things better as we go and improve the film. But they are probably the most authentic to the time period of when we were way back in finishing out Clone Wars before. They will feel very authentic to those episodes in that scale.
Fantastic. Dee, have you got anything to add? I mean, it's a pretty impressive image that we're seeing here.
Yeah, these guys are they're really great. I have such fondness for this A-team clone gang here. They're really fun, and you guys, I think, are really gonna love them when you get to see them. It's incredible.
It's a funny thing to work with people that didn't work with Dee before on the original Clone Wars. They're on the staff now, and they have no clue that he does all of them. And I'm like, it's the same guy. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, and that bad guy, that's him too. And it's like, there are some scenes in this where it's pretty much just Dee talking to Dee, shooting at Dee, killing Dee, getting back up to Dee, and it's pretty awesome. I never get tired of that.
I mean, some would say, he's very talented. Others, like me, would say greedy. So Dave, you've come here, you've shown us some pretty pictures of stuff. I mean, have you got anything else?
Yeah, I'm great to watch Star Wars more than talk about it. It gets me out of trouble. So let's watch a clip from The Bad Batch.
That blast gave away our position. I thought getting shot down gave away our position. Everyone, find cover. We'll hold this position and let them come to us. I don't think so, Captain. That's not our style. We prefer going to them. Bad Batch, Plan 82, Shockwave. Let's get to work. Mark 151. 45. Mark 151. Ready. 75. Mark 357. 75. Mark 357. Spider droids, fan out. Any more? Come on!
Amazing.
Cool.
It was pretty cool.
They're a really great team. It's really fun to watch these guys in action because they're really good and they hum.
Fantastic. Now, Dave, what about Ahsoka's journey at this point?
Yeah, that was a particular challenge here because the way I had it planned out, and I would say, there's a look at one of the outfits. I did a tweak on the outfit, and I was trying to decide now that she's kicked out of the temple, how would she know or have any sense of style for what to wear when you have such amazing style, but it's not like that was a primary goal of the temple. So I thought she'd wear this like jumpsuit. So, and I'm sure you'll make that at some point.
Yes.
But everything from like the way she looked, and I was trying to decide after the armor, because I really liked the type of samurai style that she had in Rebels, and so I wanted to kind of figure out a way to bring that to life in this again. But her journey as it was a big question is, what does this person do who's raised in this temple with this ordered life? How does she react to everyday life? What does it mean that now she's in the outside? And how does she rectify who she was trained and raised to be versus what she experienced with leaving the Jedi Order and feeling somewhat betrayed by them and not supported by them except for Anakin. And so I came up with a story that worked off of one of our older stories, and I found a way to tell that story so it was relevant to her for who she was, who she could potentially become, and who she really needs to be, which is really the question with Ahsoka is always, there's this option, but then there's choosing what is right for you, for yourself inside, trusting and believing, having faith in yourself. And so there's an episode arc that mainly revolves around that, and she meets two new characters, two sisters named Trace and Rafa. And I think I have images of them here that we can see. That's Trace, a younger sister that lives in the underworld of 1313. And well, in Star Wars kind of level on a city planet get cheer.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I love Star Wars.
I mean, you can say anything to this lot. If I said, I don't know, carpet.
That's not how that worked. They did that for you because you brainwashed them over time here. I know that that's how you got a role on Rebels. I remember last time when you deceived me with your trickery war. But then there's also...
Give me a part.
It doesn't work like that on me. No. Only weak-minded, my friend. Nice try.
Touche,
I've been trained. And then there's her sister, Rafa, and we can see who's a fantastic coat. These designs done by the art department. I love that. I love that coat. So another maybe thing for you over there. But again, it's Ahsoka experiencing what it's like for these two women to live in the underworld of 1313 and what their lives are like contrasts heavily versus what her life was like and her involvement in the war and with Jedi versus kind of more everyday people just fighting to survive. So
Ashley, what do you feel about your story arc then? I mean, don't give anything away, obviously, but I mean, is it something that, it pleases you? I mean, it's interesting when you're an actor because, especially when you've been working on something for so long, you feel a certain ownership. I know a director wouldn't like you to feel that necessarily, but you kind of take it to your heart, don't you? And then it doesn't necessarily kind of go the way you want it to go.
Yeah, well, I have to say that these stories just far surpassed all of my expectations. So they're truly incredible, and I can take absolutely no credit for them. Dave and his team, they do an amazing job creating these stories. But I love these new characters, Trace and Rafa. These episodes, I could say, I mean, they went through some changes. Can I say that?
everything
said
changes.
It
now.
Yeah, good point. Thank you.
But anyway, so these are two new characters, and they're fantastic. And I think Ahsoka, you know, we see her in Rebels, and she has come so far, but you know, we had to go back to that place where she still has so much to learn, where she is a bit lost. She just walked away, you know, from the Jedi Order, and she is just kind of going wherever the wind takes her. And
that's a big change, though. It was a big change to go back from her being at this point in Rebels to she's still a teenager in this.
Yes.
And that was a bit challenging, just even writing it when you've written her with such wisdom at the point she was in Rebels, to go back and being like, well, she's not naive ever completely, but she definitely has a worldview that might be challenging for other people at certain times. So that was an interesting thing to kind of do and to have performed and to look at. But really, for me, it's about her becoming the person towards the person that you see in Rebels, and that was kind of the arc that I'm looking up in the bigger picture of her character.
Yeah, she kind of just had to act her age a little bit in these episodes, and I was so used to Ahsoka, you know, being back before she walked away from the Jedi Order. I mean, she acted so much above her age, I feel like, in many ways, and here she is with her two peers. And it was weird. It definitely was weird, but it was great. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of character development in these episodes.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to seeing that. A few minutes ago, we showed a clip, exclusive clip, and they went crazy.
Yes. So let's show another clip. I love clips. It's like nice and outside, especially in the snow. So it's snowing, more clips. Stay inside where we have clips.
Do you want to set this up, or should we just let it speak for itself?
Let's speak for itself, yeah.
Talk to us. What's up?
Oh, this scene.
That was exciting, wasn't it?
Yes! I've never seen that. I want that jumpsuit. I'm gonna make that jumpsuit.
Now, Sam mentioned earlier.
Big deal. It's the story I've thought most about probably over the last decade. And how does that all work? And how can we produce it and make it happen? It's a very challenging episode, very large scale, but the arc of it is probably the most important. From several standpoints, one of the most challenging things about Clone Wars is how it's integrated with the other films. It's between 2 and 3, and I have to adhere to a lot of continuity between those things. And when you get towards the end, I mean, that gap gets narrower and narrower. George experienced this too, making Revenge of the Sith, and he had to link up much more closely with what he was doing in A New Hope. And so a lot of the things that are in the story are things that were long planned. Some things changed because of things that had happened in Rebels, but always, I think always frankly for the better. Some things that exist in the story are things that he and I had discussed, George, before, you know, he sold the company and we moved on. So it's been very important to me to keep the DNA of what we were doing alive in this whole thing, that it feel authentic to Clone Wars. And this was a very big challenge as an arc, but I knew with the talent I have and the crew that we could do it. So it's been a kind of something fulfilled that I never got to do. And I feel really good about this one in particular.
Fantastic. Sam, you're sitting down there at the end. Of course, the voice of Darth Maul himself. I mean, is it great to be back again? I mean, I think we've got an image of Darth Maul there. Has he got a new outfit as well?
A little bit.
Yeah, he has. Look at that.
Looking good.
He's got a little kilt or something? What is that?
No. I mean, it's a little more derived from the way we saw you in Solo, and so I was trying to do certain connections between that look there and what we've done in animation.
Yeah, when I got the script for this stuff and finally could read what the Siege of Mandalore was all about, I was shocked. And I mean shocked. I don't mean like, you guys are gonna really like it. No, I mean like I was shocked. I'm glad I'm sitting down. Are you sitting down? Okay. This is some of the honestly, it's my favorite stuff that we've ever done as the character. And Dave wrote it personally, so. What was so fascinating to me about picking up with this character, you know, as Ashley was saying, you go back to the earlier version of the character. He's not crazy old Grandpa Maul from Rebels. He's the younger guy. But, and Freddie Prinze Jr. once likened Maul to Sisyphus, the guy who was cursed for eternity to roll a big boulder up a hill, and right as he's about to get it up the hill, it falls back down the hill, and he's got to start all over again for eternity. Maul has been in this cycle where he's been obsessed with the same things, he's wanted the same things, and he hasn't been able to think or see his way out of this horrible, evil cycle that he's found himself in. And what I found most interesting about this arc is for a second, he actually tries to think his way out of it. He actually tries something different that he's never tried before or since, and we see how that goes.
Wow, you're right on the edge there, Sam. Right on the edge there. Right. The team is right up to the edge. Interesting. What does it mean?
Moving swiftly on, I believe we have another piece of... Tell us about this, Dave.
Well, today's my day to talk about Mandalorian, so... one of my own Mandalorians here, Bo-Katan, will be back in this arc. She plays a pivotal role, actually, in the Siege of Mandalore, and how she weaves into the story became very important. Katie is back, Katie Sackhoff playing Bo-Katan. Very exciting, you might see her here at convention. And these are some of my sketches of the Siege of Mandalore when I had the story meetings about it with George. George and I would have meetings with the writers, and we would sit down and kind of beat out the story, and these images are the ones that really lasted with me throughout the whole thing. And some of these I've shared before, but it's worth doing again because all of this is wound up actually in the story that you are going to see in some form or another. Boy, these drawings I did a long time ago. There you are, some more of the images. There's her first force pushing Maul back. Always fun. That's a fun little thing that I'll talk about. I'm trying to find ways to make the show better, to give you guys more than you've ever had before. And so one of the things I thought would be great is, like, I need to have, and I wanted to have, as much as the Obi-Wan versus Maul fight was brief, I wanted this fight to be big. I wanted this to be an epic lightsaber fight. I haven't done too many of those in course of years, and so this one had to be, like, I felt among the best, if not the best we did. So the best way to do that, to have a great lightsaber fight, is go talk to somebody that has done lightsaber fighting. And so I went, and I know Ray Bart, and I said, Ray, wouldn't it be great if, you know, now that I've experienced doing more live action stuff, why don't we just suit you up in a mocap suit and have you... What? So, when you see Maul fighting, it's going to be really Maul fighting. And my animation team and I are watching it. As well as they've done everything in the past, when Maul has done lightsaber fighting, there's just something unique about the way Ray moves. It's a skill, it's an art, it's truly him. And I was just thrilled that we could bring that and have you, the voice and the body in together. Like, it was great. It was a great moment watching him perform it.
I got to watch it too. I showed up to the shoot, so I just sat back and watched these guys go to town. It was amazing.
Really fun.
That's good to hear that that's the technique you use in this. That's fantastic. Yeah. Fabulous. Do we have one more image there? And that's
I enjoyed that image. I think we have. And this is a very This one, though, you'll notice is really early days. It's just straight up animation. It's not final render, not final music, sound design. It is final voice, thank goodness. And it has both you and our friend Matt Lanter in it. And I just thought, this is the kind of thing I know you guys will appreciate and want to see. So even though it's not finished, I wanted you to experience it here at Celebration. So enjoy this clip.
Thank you, Dave.
They shouldn't salute me anymore. Not since I left the Order.
It doesn't matter to them. It's a sign of respect. They know what you went through for them, day after day. Battle after battle. Loyalty means everything to the clones.
Oh my
They've been waiting to see you. As soon as Rex and the guys knew you were back, they got to work.
The paint job's a little crude, but we think it gets the idea across. Glad to have you back, Commander.
Rex, thank you. But you don't have to call me Commander anymore.
Sure thing, Commander.
Actually, you're very teary-eyed there.
This was the scene at Celebration London when we did the Untold Tales of Ahsoka painting.
Wait, is this the scene that made you cry before when I just described it?
Yes!
Oh, right, it is that scene.
You can water
See how
the
much
test
better it
tree.
was to watch it than it was me describe it?
Yes, but I think what's so amazing is I think why I was crying so hard then is I never ever thought that we'd be here watching the scene. So to be here and to have just watched that is incredible. Thank you.
It's been wonderful to have, you cast, of course, you yourself, Dave, as well. But I taken the liberty of sending a little invitation out.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. Would you like to meet some more of the cast of Clone Wars? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the returning stars of Clone Wars, Matt Lanter, Cameron Tate, Tom Kane, welcome to all of you. How you doing?
Very good, very good.
So it's great to have you all here. Look at this assembly here, ladies and gentlemen. It's fantastic, isn't it? And you've all been working together now for 10 years. Believe it or not.
Even longer.
Longer than that?
Yeah, because, right? Hasn't it been longer?
Yeah, because we were in the the 2D version before on Cartoon Network.
I see. Yeah, of course. So, what's it been like getting the band back together, as it were?
Ridiculous.
I never thought it was going to happen.
No, we never did. You know, all of these. Thought this was done. It was a great ride, but you know.
We just thought we were here for a party back there. It was fun. We were having fun then. We didn't know we were going to get it. This is even better. Look at all of you. You're beautiful. Yeah, look at them. Hello there.
General Kenobi, you are
Yes. Appreciate it. We can
You care to as well?
Fans of war, walking around the planet Ryloth.
Roger.
So you guys, I mean, you seem to slip in and out of the voices very easily. I mean, it's something that coming back to this again you found very easy, yeah?
Well, people ask, how do you switch from this to this and this? And like, it's an app. No, it is. And once it's in your head and you know the character, it's just like, he can go from battle to right.
But I feel like I never quite put Anakin down. We do a lot of video games, things like that I never quite put it down. So it wasn't, I felt like I picked it right back up, jumped right back into it pretty quick.
You know what? Because you have all been keeping it alive.
Yes. Thank you. We are not worthy.
I was just going to say too that I felt, and people have said this before, but I felt like we were also really well cast for our characters, so that inherently, James is very Obi-Wan, Matt is very Anakin, Ashley's very Ahsoka. I mean, it just is kind of...
D is every clone.
Yes. And this Matt is definitely Grievous and the droids.
So, you seem to get on like sort of one big happy family here, but you don't often get to work together in the recording studio, do you? You're separately recorded, yeah?
Some of them do. I don't live in LA anymore, so I do my stuff remotely. The only time I go back to LA is, it's a feature film. They will absolutely...
Bigger name.
They will absolutely not send a script over email. They're like, no. But yeah, it's...
We get to work together, though, for the most part. I mean, that's the thing. And the other thing is we really are a family. Thank you, Star Wars, because you made this wonderful family for us. And we all just know each other and hang out all the time. So, yeah.
Since this started, my hair went white. And, we've adopted a couple kids, and we moved after across the country, but this was the constant, in my life. So.
Yeah. And why do you think it is that the Clone Wars resonates with the fans in the way it does? I mean, any of you can comment.
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni?
Why? No, I'm saying Dave Filoni.
Saying Dave
No. I mean, no. I appreciate that. Very good, thank you. But in reality, the reason why it works is because I was taught by the master. That's why it works. I had to sit with him on a regular basis, and he explained these stories to me, and I listened. And for any young person wanting to be in film or any walk of life, when you meet somebody that is more experienced and can be a mentor, you should listen. You don't need to impress them by trying to say, I do not do that. That's not impressive. Listening is impressive. And that was one of the #1 skills that I had. That you guys like any of this at all is just, to me, always, it just shows you how he really knew, George really knew what he was doing. And he laid a foundation that has been so alive that we still have these celebrations, and you see so many great creative talents now coming on and creating Star Wars, like, working with Jon Favreau now on Mandalorian, and he loves Star Wars, and I talked to him about it. JJ loves Star Wars, we talk about that, and you see this group of people that, we love this, you guys love this,
let's make more of this. And that's all part of this. It's not any one thing or any one person.
You have to understand that 1 year before Dave was hired to do this, he was cosplaying at a con as Plo Koon.
Yeah, I love Plo Koon. He never got to do much. And then I got to run the Clone Wars and he did a heck of a lot more. That was weird, but really cool. And George is like, why do you like that guy? I'm like, I don't know, I can't explain it. He's like, I can't explain it either. Yeah, maybe so, maybe so.
Well, Dave, you've been really generous today. You've shown us some lovely conceptual artwork. You've given us 3 clips.
3
exclusive clips.
3 clips.
And we have a wonderful cast reunion here. But I want more.
I love how direct you are. Like that time you said, you've never cast me in anything. I was like, oh, then I did. And it worked out brilliantly.
It worked out very well, except because of the time difference, I recorded my dialogue in London in the afternoon. And Dave had to come in very, very early in the morning. And it's not your best time of day,
Very
if I'm
early.
honest.
And then I remember why I hadn't cast you. Because I have to get up very early to get to it was totally worth it.
I thought we were talking about the performance.
Oh my God! Performance was great. All right, well, this is the time that we should show a trailer.
What?
The first trailer, we had the other one, I only had 4 shots, so I couldn't make much of a trailer. I have more shots now. So let's watch a trailer for the return of Flo.
Oh yeah.
You record the reaction?
Yeah. Go on,
Yeah.
Let's see this bad boy.
I'm not coming back.
You are making a mistake.
Maybe. But I have to sort this out on my own. Without the council, and without you.
Where exactly are you from?
I used to live in the upper levels of Coruscant.
You're probably better off down here. With the Jedi running around, starting wars.
I've watched so many of my brothers fall during this war. Follows, Echo, Heavy.
Master Yoda, your thoughts on how to win the war?
No longer certain that one ever does win a war. I am.
You'll never see any Jedi around here. It's not safe down here. Things could have gotten messy for you. That's why I've got my ship.
What squad detected? Experimental Unit Clone Force 99.
The cavalry has arrived! Happening! Attention!
On the helipad, Commander.
Oh man.
Who's new? Maybe a little better.
Proceed there. Good.
What an amazing response, Dave. I mean, I would expect nothing less, though. That was absolutely brilliant.
Thanks, bud.
Fantastic. Just something to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, you'll all have one of these tickets here. Don't forget, you can get this exclusive mini poster. Okay, you have to present this.
Yes!
Actually, it was incredible.
Thanks, man.
I think I passed out during it.
I'd like to watch it again. It was a lot of work.
I need to. These people have got other things to do. They don't want to see it
and
again.
it's snowing outside. They probably would enjoy the snow.
Yeah, but they've got loads of they want to go eat and stuff. They don't want to see it again.
I don't have a ticket. Can you hook me up?
I will. I'll sort it out. Yeah. So you want to see that again? All right, let's see it again then.
I'm not coming back.
Now we take it away.
You are making a mistake.
Maybe. But I have to sort this out on my own. Without the council. And without you. Where exactly are you from? I used to live in the upper levels of Coruscant. You're probably better off down here. With the Jedi running around, starting wars.
I've watched so many of my brothers fall during this war. Fives, Echo, Heavy.
Master Yoda, your thoughts on how to win the war?
No longer certain that one ever does win a war. I am.
You'll never see any Jedi around here. It's not safe down here. Things could have gotten messy for you. That's why I've got my ship.
What squad are you taking in? Experimental Unit Clone Force 99.
The cavalry has arrived!
Glad to have you back, Commander.
Goes new. Maybe a little better. I was hoping for Kenobi. Why are you here?
Oh,
That was amazing.
I might be.
I don't know if we did a video after the Clone Wars panel where it was such an emotional wreck, all of us. It was amazing and beautiful. Ross, it was amazing and beautiful.
Amazing.
We got posters. Look at this.
Amazing and beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't expecting the blue sabers, by the way.
No, neither did I.
Like, I thought she just, like, after the Clone Wars Season 5, she just, like, her blades just went straight white,
Yeah.
period. Oh, those are the Get Out lights.
Yeah.
That's the Get Out chimes.
Well, we'll be back with our full thoughts on
Oh,
Clone
yeah.
Wars in just a bit. We'll be back. We'll do a breakdown tonight.